So here we are with the amazing and beautiful and inspiring Laura Huxley. And from Speaker's Little Secret, you can check out her website if you're interested in what she gets up to, what she does. So we're having some chit-chats. And we're talking about travel. Don't you love that subject?
Love it. I love travel more than anything.
Have you done a lot of travelling?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done lots of travelling. It's how I ended up here in Australia.
Yeah, because you're from
Manchester in the UK originally.
That's right. We should mention
which is northwest of England. Mm-hmm. And so I've done lots of travel.
And how long have you been in Australia?
9 years.
9 years.
Nearly over 9 years now. It'll be nearly 10 actually.
So you got here in like 2009 or
2008 we arrived.
2008.
Yeah.
Wow.
So before that, we Jamie and I, my now husband, who's also from Manchester in the UK, we just decided one day, we thought, let's go and do a round the world trip.
Wow.
Let's save up all of our money and go and travel.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And so you were in Manchester and you started there.
Yep. So we started in Manchester. And then the first place we flew to was India.
Wow.
So that was a culture shock for me.
Yeah, culture shock, big culture shock. Yeah.
So we did India, and we were in India for 2.5 months.
Wow, that's quite a while. Where did you go in India?
We went to Rajasthan, which is the northern state, and we travelled and did all the temples. So there's places like Jaipur and Udaipur and lots of beautiful places.
So,
Taj Mahal. Have you been to India?
No, I haven't been to India. I've been wanting to. I've thought about going to India, but I've been a bit wary, we can say, a bit cautious, because I've heard a lot about, the belly. You can get quite sick, can't you? Have you been to India?
You should go. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a while to get used to. After about 2 weeks of being there, I kind of settled into it.
Settled in. Yeah.
And I did unfortunately get sick.
Did you? Yeah. It seems to be part of the experience.
It's just part of it. But my husband Jamie didn't. He's got a stomach of steel.
Stomach of steel. It sounds like it. Yeah.
But I got sick
belly.
twice whilst I was there. But that's not too bad in 2.5 months.
No, that's not too bad. Was it really bad when you got sick? Was it quite...
Yeah.
Don't want to go there.
It wasn't very very nice, I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah.
You kind of just deal with it whilst you're there.
Yeah.
And then we went down south. So down south we did the Taj Mahal, and then we went down to there's a place called Kerala, which is all, you go on these gorgeous boats, and they take you out on the rivers.
Oh, nice.
You have a chef on the boat, and he cooks.
Oh, how beautiful and romantic.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard much about the south of India and those parts.
The food's very different to the north, I found. It was, in fact, I would say the south of India is much more commercialised. It's more touristy than the north of India. So that means that the food that you can get there is slightly more westernised.
In the south, because the north is more authentic, isn't it?
Yeah.
More real and more genuine.
And no alcohol. In the north you can't have alcohol or any, obviously, because of the religion there. But it seems to be a little bit more accessible once you get down south. There's places like Goa.
Oh yeah, Goa is a popular tourist
that a lot of people go
destination.
to, and we ended up being there at Christmas time.
And letting loose
on the beach.
So, and what we're going to talk about today is travel experiences. So we're talking about some kind of interesting or strange or scary experience that you've had while traveling. And it could be just in your own country if you haven't traveled overseas.
Yeah.
So did you have some kind of weird experience when you were in India or some...
Lots.
Sure.
And then I want you to tell me about your Greece, because you went to
Yes, I went to Greece last year, which was amazing.
I will more about that. But I'll tell you, so there was an amazing experience that we had in India, which was we were in a mountain town. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was a mountain town, but it was also where all the tea plantations were.
Right.
So you would kind of drive round the mountain, and all the tea pickers would be there picking the tea. It was amazing to see.
Yeah.
And so one morning, well, the day before, a guy said to us, I'll take you to the top of the mountain, and you can come and have a look at the view of the whole, mountain range from the top. Yeah. So he said, make sure that you're ready for 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll come and pick you up in my rickshaw. You know, the little rickshaws.
So it's a little cart with a horse? No, not with a horse.
No, it's just a little buggy kind of thing. It's all open.
And there's a man.
And there's a man that drives it. So it's a motor vehicle.
A form of transport.
But it's not like a.
No. Yeah. Doesn't go very fast.
And they all pretty much use those to get around in India.
Right. And
so we were ready at 7 o'clock, but we didn't realise that going up to the top of the mountain, it was going to be freezing cold. Oh. So we literally just had our little vest tops on and flip-flops. And we were going up this mountain, we were going round and around and around. And as we were going higher and higher, it was getting colder and colder.
Dizzy?
A little bit. Mm-hmm. And then we had to put our feet inside my handbag because our feet were so cold.
Oh, that's a good method.
And then we got to the top, and the guy said to us, right, I have to stop here, but you get out, walk through that gate, and then you need to go up the steps, and you'll see what I've been telling you about. So we were like, okay. Mm-hmm. So we got out of the rickshaw, and we were going up the steps, and I was being miserable because I was tired.
And cold, yeah.
Cold. I was like, these steps are so steep.
Yeah.
Anyway, we finally got to the top, and it was absolutely breathtaking.
Love it.
Breathtaking.
Yeah.
And we were stood in the clouds. Literally stood in the clouds.
In the clouds.
And you could see for miles and miles and miles, and it was just... one of the best experiences I've ever had, because it was unexpected. Mm-hmm, I didn't know what we were going to see when we got to the top.
Yeah.
And just being...
And so the clouds were surrounding you, kind of...
We were pretty much surrounded by the clouds.
Wow.
But there was still a degree of visibility. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too cloudy that you couldn't see the view.
And what could you see below? Was it just valleys?
Tea plantations, valleys, the mountains. It was absolutely stunning.
So it was worth it. It was worth the climb, arduous climb.
It was worth getting cold feet for.
So
yeah. So how about you? What about, because you went to Greece last year?
Last year I went to Europe for the first time. Yes. So I travelled, to America and Japan and a few other places, but I hadn't been to Europe, and I just really wanted to get over there. So I took almost 4 weeks, and I went to Greece to stay with a friend who has a house. His parents have a big, amazing house on an island called Limnos. Limnos Island.
I've heard of it.
Have you heard of it?
Yes.
It's quite a big island, but it's not so touristy. Which is good. It's not packed with people from all over the place. So
yes.
But the weather was just incredible. And the sun, it's different to Australian sun. It's not so harsh. I found it was more just warm and just beautiful. It wasn't so strong on your skin.
How about the food? Did you enjoy the food in Greece?
Oh, I munched up a storm. I mean, I ate everything that I could.
It's great, isn't it? Great food.
The food is amazing in Greece, and it's very relaxed and laid back. And we went to the tavernas, so these little restaurants on the beach or by the beach, and they just take their time. They take their sweet time to bring anything out. You can't hurry them. When I first got there, I was in Sydney mode, so I was like, well, come on, where's my cheese balls? Or but they just go. No, they're just going to take their time. And my friend said, no, you've got to chill out here. So, and that's an
relax.
expression we've talked about, chill out, and just, relax. And so you get into that mode of living there, which you have a siesta in the afternoon.
It's like a slow, easy
it's so great.
pace of living, isn't it? Because in England, actually, the perception from British people looking at Australians is that it's very laid back here. It's very, very chilled out.
Exactly. England,
But that's not necessarily the case. I think
not
that's
in Sydney,
just a
anyway.
perception. Not in Sydney. Because, I think quite often my family think I'm on holiday most of the time.
Yeah, it is a bit of a perception of Australia, or it's an image that maybe we project.
Yeah.
And it is very comfortable in lots of ways compared to other countries.
Very.
But it's not always like that, is it?
There's still that fast pace compared to somewhere like Greece or Europe.
Exactly. Greece, you've got to wind down and chill out and put your feet up and, just...
delicious food.
Yeah, really get into it.
So I had it in my head. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I got it mixed up. But I knew that my flight back to Australia, so New York to... I think I was flying through Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I had to stop off at Chicago, and then I think that was it. And then from Chicago direct to Sydney. I think.
Oh, okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, I knew that my flight was at 12 o'clock lunchtime. For the whole week leading up to the day of the flight, I knew that was the case. For some reason, the day before, I checked my flight details. And I got it into my head that the flight was actually at midnight. I don't know how or why I did it, but I obviously subconsciously wanted to stay.
Yes, well, New York has that effect.
New York.
I would do the same, and I think I've done something similar.
So, and I had a friend there, so we met for brunch, like early kind of lunch.
Yeah.
And I decided I wanted to pick up a few gifts for my husband and for a few friends on the way back. So there I was in New York shopping up a storm.
Great, yes.
I was in Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah, and down Madison Avenue. And
where all the main stretch. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And not far from the Fifth Avenue, not far from the Rockefeller Center at this point.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So anyway, I was in the changing room and I was trying on some gorgeous black jeans and I suddenly had this thought and I thought, wait a minute, if my flight was at 12 midnight, wouldn't it say the next date? So I knew I was flying on the 28th of August.
Oh, I see what you mean. So
and I just thought, if it was midnight, wouldn't it say the 29th?
Next day on your ticket, yeah.
And then my heart just sank because I knew. And I thought, oh my God.
In the middle of Abercrombie
I was in the changing room. And I thought, oh my God. So I ran to the counter and I said, I need an internet because I'd wanted to check the internet to see whether I possibly could have got it wrong. And, I possibly could have got it right.
Right.
It was at midnight.
And it was, yeah.
So she said, no, ma'am. The internet, you need to go to the Rockefeller Center down the road. I was like, oh my God. So I was running to the Rockefeller Center and I finally found a computer in Burger King.
Wow.
So
and
got myself online and I'd completely missed my flight.
And it was already after 12.
2 hours I'd missed it. It was 2 p.m. by that point.
But it didn't matter because you had a bunch of new clothes.
So
and you got more time in New York.
I did, but then I called up the airline to explain the situation to see if they could put me on another flight, and they wouldn't. And they said they could put me on standby, but I wouldn't be able to fly back for another week.
Oh no, another week. Wow.
I had to buy another ticket.
Oh, you had to, so they couldn't give you another later flight.
I had to
that's
buy
annoying.
A full ticket.
Oh, that's a shame.
So that was the downfall.
Yeah.
So those jeans actually cost me nearly $2,000.
Oh, I hope they're good jeans. But that's forgivable because most people that go to New York just don't want to leave, really.
Exactly.
Or you really just being dragged to the airport. I felt like that when I was in New York.
Yeah.
So that's a great story. And all right, there we go, talking about travel. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we'll see you in the next video.